Hello and welcome along to Muse Basics with your host Robert Smith. In this video we're going to add some more content to our header. So here we are. I go back to plan view like this and make sure I'm on my master page by simply double clicking on it like this, because this content is going to appear on all pages, so we'll put it on the master page. I've decided, yeah, that's great. So I think my header is just a little bit too small, so I'm just going to drag this down here just a little bit like that. Click on the actual rectangle and just drag that down so it fills it up, and that's going to happen on all the pages as well. Okay, now I'm going to add some text or some typography, so let's get our layers out. Make sure we're on our header layer. That's where it's all going to go. So I'll click on the text tool and drag it out like this, and I get a flashing cursor. Now the name of this site is going to be Hey Robbie Design, like this. Hey Robbie, and the design will be in capitals like that. Now we really can't see that, so let's make that a bit bigger by selecting it, same as I would in any other application. Let's just make it a bit bigger like that. Very nice indeed. Let's put it in the middle here like that. You'll notice we get all these smart guides as you move things around, which really helps. Now fonts. Now fonts notoriously on the web have been very limited by the web fonts, the fonts that are on every machine. Now if I was to select, for example, this Hey Robbie like that, you'll notice that up here I've got my text options. If I drop this down, I get lots of options. For example, web safe fonts. They're the traditional fonts that we used to use on the web, but we had no other way. If we want to do something a little bit clever, we'd use something called system fonts. The only trouble is they would export as images, and the screen readers couldn't read them, and the SEO or search engine optimization was pretty useless using those. But Adobe's added this thing here called Add Web Fonts, which is a great little addition to web design. What it does, it enables you access to this whole library of Adobe fonts. So let's add a font. So I'm going to click on Add Web Font like this, and I quite like this Aquafina script like that, so I'll just click on that. Now I can go through this ad nauseum. I can filter it by all sorts of different things here, but we'll leave that for another video. So the one I want is Aquafina script. I'm going to click OK, and it'll tell us that it's been added to our fonts menu. So OK. Now it hasn't done anything yet, so to actually use it, we'll go up here and drop our thing down, our menu, and you'll see now we've got Aquafina script. I can select that, and that will export with the actual page. Now I want that to be, yeah, I'm fine, I'm happy with that. Let's click out here. I want that to be white, so I'll go over here and choose white like that. And the word design. Now I want the design in a different font. Now I've already taken the liberty of going and loading another font. You'll see it's called Lato, this one here. I use this one, Lato or Lato, whatever you want to call it, because it's got plenty of variety. It's got black, and it's got italic and light and regular. I'm going to go for bold, the bold version of it like this. And I'm also going to make it white as well, like this. Very nice. So now I'm using two web fonts like that. What I need to do is to make the word Hey Robbie a little bit bigger, so I'm going to select that, and using the Shift command and point, I forget what they call that, the pointy bracket thing. Actually, I'll do it this way. I'll go up here, and I can make it bigger just by using this number up here, like that, and it's starting to look a bit good. Quite happy with that. Now I need to center that, so I'm just going to select that like there. Now if I want to center that, I need the text over here will give me the options to do that, the text panel. So if I click on here, that'll center it like that. Now I want that word design to be the same X height, because I'm an old typographer. I want to, again, I'm just going to move those down using these numbers, make it a bit smaller like that. And there it is. There's my header type like this. Perhaps it's all a little bit too big, so I'm going to just drop that down again. Again, I'm using Shift command and the angle bracket like this to do that. By selecting that, Shift command angle. It doesn't like it because there's two of them. So I'll just Apple Z that back there like this, and I'm quite happy. We'll just leave it like that at this stage. That'll work fine. Okay, so there's my heading. Now I could put an image there, whatever I like, but I'm just going to use some type for this exercise. I can put a background image here by simply clicking on the rectangle like this, and my options are to put a image in if I wish, but I'm not going to do that right now, so I'll just leave it as type. Okay, now what I want to do is add a menu. Now traditionally creating menus, writing code was a bit of a chore. I must admit that Adobe Muse has made it very, very simple. So let me show you how to do that. I want to put a menu on this master page that will navigate between the pages of this site. To do that, we'll go to something called the widgets library over here. If we open that up, we'll see a whole lot of widgets which we'll be using in this course. But let's make sure we're on the right layer. We're on the header layer, that's fine. Go to our widgets library, and under menus, I'm going to grab the horizontal menu like this and drag it up. And you'll notice straight away whenever you do use a widget like that, it'll give you your options. Now let's just accept all of these options to start with, but make sure this edit together is checked. That means when you work on one of the buttons, it'll happen to all of them. It's quite a handy little option. So I'll just click off there like that, and I might zoom in a bit, Apple Plus to zoom in just a little bit to have a look at it, this menu. You'll notice it's what's called an automatic menu. Muse has looked at our site plan and our master plan where we've got this many pages, and it's made a menu for us with those names on it. Well done, Muse. Okay, now first thing I want to do is I want to actually make it a bit bigger, so I'm just going to grab the edge like that and just drag it out to the edge of the page, not the edge of the browser, that's the edge of the page there, or maybe just a little bit in from the edge of the page there like that. And this one over here to the right hand side like this. And I might move it down just a little bit like that. Very nice indeed. Okay, now this is a beautiful, let's look how to select things in Muse. It's quite different to anything you're used to, like in Photoshop, Illustrator, or InDesign. For example, this menu is a widget. If I click on it once, it selects the whole menu, and I can move that around by just dragging it if I like. Things like that. Now if I click on it again, the second time, what it does, it selects an individual part of that widget. In other words, one of the buttons like that, which is quite handy. And if I click on it again, it now selects the actual label or the text. So that takes a little bit of getting used to in Muse. I'll do that again. If I just click on here like that, it selects the whole menu. Click on it again, it'll click on an individual button. Click on it again, and it will click on the actual label itself. Okay, so what I want to do, let's do a bit of styling of this menu. So the first thing I'm going to do is click like that once, then click again to select one of the buttons. And what I want to do is I want to round the corners, and that's this option up here. You've got this option for rounded corners. So I'm just going to go in there and round the corners a little bit down to about, say, 22 like that. As you can see now, I've got rounded cornered menu items. Now the actual text itself, the label, I'm going to click again to select that. Notice how I've selected the text now, and go to my type tool over here like that, and I'm going to change that font to Lato, which is a font I've downloaded, one of the web fonts, the same as I did with the Aquafina. And this time, yeah, I'm going to do, we'll go bold again like that. And you'll notice all of them have changed, which is really cool. And I'll make the point size a little bit bigger. As I make one bigger, they all change, which is great. Looking good, like that. Okay, now I'm going to click off it anywhere, like this. I'm going to select this again, like that, and then go in and select one of the buttons by clicking again. And under Effects, I'm going to put a drop shadow. Now I know drop shadows are pretty naff, but I think it looks quite good on this one. I'll just click on shadow. I can adjust all the options here if I wish. Okay, so let's have a look at that, what it looks like. So let's preview our page and see what it looks like in a browser. So up here, I'm going to go to preview mode and click on preview like that. And it takes a little while to have a bit of a think, but that's looking good. We'll fix this in a minute, the way the types come behind the buttons. But as I roll over, I can change all of these states, and we'll do that in an upcoming movie. So let's go back to design like this, and let's see if it all works. Now it's going to be hard for this to work, so let's go back to our plan view and have a look at our pages. You'll notice now that menu is on all of the pages. Great, but we just don't, there's no content on any of these pages, so I'm just going to double click on this first one, this home page. I'm going to select my type tool and just type in the word home. Like that, so I know I'm on the home page whenever I navigate there. And I'll put that in at about maybe 100 point so I can see it. Great. Now it doesn't have to be a great design because that's going to be taken out. I'm going to copy that, Command C, like this, and then go back to my preview, to plan mode, double click on the web. Now I'm going to go File, and I'm going to, edit, paste in place like this. Got the biggest shortcut in history. I'm just going to type in the word web like that, so I'll know I'm on the web page when I get there. Then I'll go back to plan view, go to the print, go to edit, paste in place. I'm just pasting that same text, and I'll type in print like that, and then back to plan view like this, and paste in place. Again, these will all be gotten rid of when we actually put some real content on there. And we'll do one more. We'll go back to plan view. There's probably an easier way of doing this, but and edit, paste in place like that, and we'll call that contact. So now when we test it, we'll know which page we're on. I'm going to save that, and rather than preview it with the internal browser, let's go to File, preview the whole site in a browser, and it'll open up your default browser, whatever your default browser is. In my case, it's Google Chrome, like this. It takes a while, and then if I start to click on this, you'll notice now that this menu works fine. It takes me to these pages like that, and there's my footer down the bottom, and everything's fine. So there it is. I've put my navigation system in. Now we can go and change what these buttons look like by using images and different colors and rollover states. Right now we're using what's called the default rollover state. That is, when I roll over it, it turns a bit darker, click on it, and it stays like that to tell us where we are. So okay, we've got our header in place and our navigation system. I'll just close that down, and in the next video we'll add a bit more content.